Hey again, second graders. Miss Shannon here with our comprehension skill of the week. This week, we will be learning how to identify the theme of a drama. What is theme? The theme of a story is the main message the author wants to tell the reader. To find the theme, think about what the characters say and do. This is the graphic organizer we will be working with this week. Today's lesson, I will be completing the graphic organizer and I would like you to watch how I fill it out. So you will not fill out this graphic organizer today. You will work on one tomorrow and on Friday. All right. So you can see that this graphic organizer has space for 3 clues, and all of those 3 clues are going to point to and tell us our theme, what the main message from the author is. For this activity, we will need your Turn practice book, page 183 through 185. So if you don't have that book with you right now, please pause this video, go find it, and come back and press play when you're ready to continue. See you in a bit. Okay, here we are on page 183. We are reading a drama titled Coyote Brings Fire. At the beginning of our story, they have listed the characters. Remember that in a drama, the characters speak aloud. So we have to be familiar with who the characters are. In addition, many dramas can be acted out on stage. So you can imagine, as I'm reading this drama, that this could be a play on the stage, and there could be people acting out these characters. So our characters in the story, Coyote Brings Fire, are the narrator, chipmunk, coyote, frog, squirrel, and 2 fire beans. Narrator. Long ago, people did not have fire. Coyote decided to bring it to them. Coyote speaks to squirrel, chipmunk, and frog. Coyote. I know where we can get fire. The fire beans have it at their camp. I have a workable plan to take the fire. Will you help? Squirrel. We'll all help if you just tell us what to do. Coyote. Follow me very quietly. The animals sneak up to the fire beans' camp. Coyote steals a stick of fire and runs. Chipmunk. Look out, Coyote! The fire beans are chasing you! Run quickly! Frog. The fire beans touched the end of Coyote's tail. Now the fur there is white. Oh my gosh. So the fire beans touched the tip of his tail and it turned white. Think of a coyote in your head right now. Think of a coyote's tail. We are going to start filling in our graphic organizer. Remember, I will be doing it today. You do not have to fill this out right now. I'm going to put in my first clue. Clues are what the characters say and do that lead us to the author's main message. So our first clue is that the tip of Coyote's tail turns white when a fire bean touches it. And I included a picture there of a coyote and the tip of his tail is white. Let's continue on and see if we find any more clues. Squirrel. Coyote, toss the fire to me and I'll catch it. Coyote tosses the fire to Squirrel. Coyote. Oh, Squirrel, you caught the fire with your tail. The heat of the fire has curled your tail up over your back. Ooh, take a look at Squirrel's tail in this picture. So notice that the squirrel's tail is curved and curls up their back. So our next clue was that squirrel's tail curls up after fire touches it. So now we have the coyote's tail turned white, the squirrel's tail curled up. What might happen next? Chipmunk. Squirrel, toss the fire here to me. Squirrel tosses the fire to Chipmunk. Coyote, watch out, Chipmunk, a fire bean is right behind you. Frog, the fire bean scratched Chipmunk's back. Look at the 3 stripes on his back. Throw the fire to me, Chipmunk. Chipmunk tosses the fire to Frog. Frog is caught by a fire bean, but gets away. The fire bean still holds Frog's tail. Okay, so even more things happened to these animals as they were trying to steal the fire. I'm going to include the clue about a chipmunk. And here is a picture of a chipmunk. You can see that chipmunks have white stripes on their backs, just like the story said that a chipmunk got their white stripes because a fire bean touched their tail or touched their back. So chipmunk has 3 stripes on its back after a fire bean touches it. So second graders, all of these 3 clues are the author's way of explaining something about nature or explaining something about an animal. They're using a drama and a folk tale to explain why coyote has a white tip tail, why chipmunk has 3 stripes on its back, and why a squirrel's tail is curled up. The author's message is trying to explain those phenomenons in nature. Let's continue reading. Squirrel. Frog, you have lost your tail. Coyote. Here comes another fire bean. Frog, toss the fire onto wood. Narrator. Now wood has fire. Coyote showed the people a useful skill. He rubbed 2 sticks together to make fire. From that day on, the people had fire. So now they were successful at stealing the fire from the fire beans and bringing it to people. When we think about the theme is the author's message. The author has chosen to explain these questions we might have about animals in nature, about their tails, about the stripes on their backs, and explaining why, when we rub 2 sticks together, fire appears. So if we think about theme, this is a folktale drama, and folk tales can explain natural events. Also, you'll notice that all of these animals were risking their lives to bring fire to people. So they were heroes, and they risked danger to help others. So they were putting themselves in danger to help the greater good. Those could be 2 examples of the theme from our story. Now that I've showed an example of how to use that graphic organizer, which we will use later in the week, we are now going to answer some comprehension questions. Number 1, what does Coyote want to do for people? Do you remember, second graders? What did Coyote want to do or bring to people? We can go back in the story to find our text evidence. In the beginning, the narrator told us that long ago, people did not have fire. And fire is pretty important for us now. It gives us heat, helps us cook food. And Coyote decided he wanted to bring the fire to people. So that is what Coyote wanted to do for people. Coyote wants to bring fire, Coyote wants to bring people fire. Press pause and play when you're ready to continue. Number 2, how do Coyote and the animals get fire? Second graders, where did they go? Who did they take the fire from? Do you remember? Look back in your story, and I will go back into the story as well and see if we can find the text evidence. And I see there, Coyote tells us his plan. He says, I know where we can get fire. The fire beans have it at their camp. So their plan is to go take the fire from the fire beans. The animals steal fire from the fire beans. Make sure you are using capital letter to start your sentence and punctuation at the end. And number 3, your turn. What is the theme of this passage? You can rewind this video and go back and listen to my ideas from our graphic organizer chart. Or if you have your own thoughts and opinions about what the theme is, you can include that here as well. Remember that the theme is the author's main message that they want the reader to learn from the story. So what do you think the message was from the author of this story? Remember, you can always rewind the video to listen to me explain in my graphic organizer one more time before you answer. But I would like it to be in your own words. Good luck, second graders. And when you finish, please take a picture of page 185 and place it in the green box. That way I can check your work and know that you completed it today. Thank you for following along with me and doing your best work. I appreciate it, second grade.